Hi. For those of you who don't know me, I don't blame you. How could I when my last upload here was over a year ago?
Good lord!
But I have always been here, and these other videos produced by this guy proves it. And I knew that one day I'd eventually come back to the channel. For how long, though, that I don't know. Depends on whatever life has to throw at me at this point. Until that time, though, happy holiday season, folks. October through December is the greatest time of the year for me, when the hardships of life come to a halt to honor some silliness, appreciation, and sincerity of your fellow man. And with that, happy Friday the 13th, the day of lackluster luck, and the title drop to one of the most well-known horror franchises out there. With today not just being Friday the 13th, but also being Friday the 13th in October, I thought what better way to celebrate the horror stars aligning than with a review dedicated to my all-time favorite horror icon.
Jason!
Jason Voorhees is the main antagonist in all but one of the Friday the 13th movies, and a zombified weightlifter who has one goal in mind: to protect his home from those who wronged his family. At least most of the time that's the case. He's gained respect from the horror community throughout the years with his unnerving yet badass design, his several variations of killing, and his near immortality. He's a simple but great horror monster, and his design is one of the best attributes about him. So, what happens when a certain figure company takes said design, cracks their knuckles, and Japanifies it? This bolstering, toned, and beautiful tomboy of a figure, that's what. This is the Jason Voorhees figure from Kotobukiya and their Bishoujo Girls statue line. Specifically, this is the second run edition of this figure. There's not really much of a difference as far as I can tell aside from the box, but collectors probably like knowing whether they have the original edition or not for these types of things. So whatever floats the collecting boat, I guess. This figure is based on the design made by Shunya Yamashita and sculpted by Kotobukiya Bishoujo. Both of these gentlemen did a fantastic job, and the efforts of both shine well here. This is a fantastic take on the concept of Jason Voorhees being an anime girl, which, yeah, it's not really a concept many people think about, but that being said, there is one little nitpick I have about the figure, but we'll get to that in a bit. Looking at the box here, we got all the essentials, with the original artwork itself being front and center. There's a nice window here on the front to showcase the figure, and it looks pretty nice so far from what we can tell. There's also a little window here comparing her to and advertising the Bishoujo Freddy Krueger figure. Makes sense they do that since these two are both based on their looks in the Freddy vs. Jason movie. I do kinda wish they did the Part 3 look since that's my favorite design, but Freddy vs. Jason's great too. Yeah, all the various labels and shots of the box. Yeah, it's a pretty nice box. Let's get her out of it. Here is Ms. Voorhees, not that one, out of her box and on full display. Long story short, she's fantastic. Long story long, the sculpt work done by Mr. Bishoujo is priceless here. And all the details on here are as simple or as complex as necessary. The mask itself is also great, with the individual holes and claw marks. The musculature of her body is great, with her face, neck, abs, breasts, and
Ass!
all being well defined and natural looking. The shirt, pants, and even jacket are all the highlight of this figure. There are natural looking rips all over the place, which makes sense for what this version of Jason had to go through. All three pieces of clothing have their own respective textures, helping to sell the authenticity of the outfit. And big bonus points go to the jacket for having the wave effect. It's always as badass as it is unnecessary. And everything I just said can also apply to the gloves, boots, and belt. They look great too. Especially the boots. I really love the shoelaces on the boots. I let those step on me. The signature machete and axe both look great, and have detailing from top to bottom. The stand she comes with isn't anything too special or detailed. It would have been nice to have a little bit of a swamp piece there, or maybe like a few things of wood, show her like being on the dock or something. But that's not really a problem for me. The figure itself does more than enough talking with its own details. Don't really need it here on the stand. The sculpt work is just fantastic. The paintwork, though, yeah, it's also fantastic actually. Like I said earlier though, I do have one little issue with the design, and the paintwork kinda comes into play there. But first, let's get to the goods. Her entire outfit is covered with a premium shading effect. All those bright and dark highlights you see on her clothes are actually painted on there, via what I assume to be a combination of airbrushing and hand painting, I think. They even gave this shading effect to her mask. I especially love that the mask has that kind of yellowing effect. Didn't need to go that far. I would have been fine with just a clean white, but that looks really good. Special highlights go to the different color for the ripped inside part of her jeans, which do have that brighter color whenever they're shown. And the blood on both her machete and abdomen look nice and clean. The belt with the metallic gold stands out nicely, and her face looks great with those cleanly printed eyes and that nicely painted mouth. But you'll notice that there's a part of her that I haven't mentioned yet. Her hair. This is where my one problem with the figure, and really the design itself, comes to play. It's not even really a problem, but it's more of a nitpick. The hair itself looks fantastic, with the airbrushing to complement the different strands of hair. But it's kinda the wrong color. Yeah, as far as I know, there are only 2 times they ever showed Jason with actual hair, and neither of those times was his hair brown, so I don't know why he chose that color. It's kind of a personal gripe, though. Really, it's more of my own personal problem with the figure than it being an objective flaw, so take that as you see fit. So to conclude, this is a great figure, and well worth the initial asking price. But the aftermarket is an entirely different side of this lake. Yeah, I'd say hold out and wait for a re-release. But then again, it's been years now, and this is already kind of the re-release, with it being the second wave edition. And the official Kotobukiya website is saying to just look on eBay nowadays for it. Yep, you're kind of screwed on that part. If you like Jason, and you like anime, you will like this figure. But there's a chance you'll never find it for a good price. Or even the initial price, so in that case, I would recommend just getting the actual knockoff. Yes, there's a knockoff of this figure. It doesn't look too bad, and it's way more affordable. But it'll never match this beauty, unfortunately, so you just gotta take what you can get. So, Kotobukiya, you're welcome to make another wave of this figure, and you're welcome to, in turn, collect all the money from it that would otherwise go to bootleg companies and scalpers, and line your own pockets instead. But hey, you do you, I suppose. And as for those of you who watched this video, thanks for doing so. If you want, you could like this video, you could comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Salt Spice for more. But what you need to do is have a good day. However good a day you can make this day of all days.